Good morning, Mr. Kartik. It feels like only yesterday that we were here.
Oh, strange that, isn't it?
Yeah. Uh,
All good on your side?
Yeah, not too bad. Looking forward to finishing planting this field and looking forward to the weekend because it's Friday and I have about 3 hours left at work.
Excellent.
You?
Can't beat that Friday feeling. Yeah, all
Yeah.
good.
Love a half day Friday.
Can't beat them.
Right, I'm going to
Shall
go
we
and crack
crack
on
on?
because I've got crops to seed.
Okay, see you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Western Wildlands. Kartik did just tell me what the map was called, and I have forgotten. I could have probably tabbed to the tractor, but a little bit of running is not a bad thing. Yeah, so I need to finish seeding this field of barley because I got a little bit behind in the previous video where I was messing around cutting down trees and trying to sell them. So let's put the HUD back on, and we're in a gear. I couldn't remember if I'd left it in automatic gearbox or not. There we go. Come on. We need to set GPS up again. Oh, see, this is one of the things I dislike about Wobster's GPS is that if I was using VCA, I could have just got back in and hit the button to go. I could save the course, I guess. I'm really bad at doing that, actually. We might just freehand this. But then again, my driving is awful. I am not fully caffeinated yet this morning. I had run out of Monster. Yes, I know that stuff's bad for me. And I had to go to the shop to buy some. And then had to put it in the freezer to get it cold. So yeah, I am not at my peak levels of performance just yet. That looks good enough. We need to do the width. And there we go. And we need to put it back in manual gearbox. She's in here, I believe. Where are you? Manual. And off we go. Let's find a gear that's appropriate. I think we use low 4 for this. And hopefully we've got enough seed left. I'll probably just run until we run out of seed. I don't think I'm going to buy any more. Yeah, get this planted. Probably going to get it fertilized, assuming we can get that done before it gets dark. And then we will progress to the next day and we'll have soybeans to harvest. First harvest on here, we'll see how much money we're going to make from our first crop. The other thing that I am keen to have a look at doing, I think, is we have a little bit of grass as to whether we can pick up a cheap mower, and I need to get a cheap baler added in and see if we can make some grass bales because I'm thinking about sheep as well as chickens. Just check the sales whilst we're here. Nothing particularly useful. So we have added in the vehicle sales customizer, something like that. Vehicle sales mod, which gives us more sales. So yeah, that should be cool. Because that means we get more cheap stuff, and cheap stuff is always good. Let's have a quick peek at what Mr. Kartik is up to. Guessing he's fertilizing or maybe rolling if he's been up to the store. I'm not too fussed about rolling on here. I don't think it's worth the money and the time at the moment. We could really do with a better job of squaring up that other field as well. I think we'll tackle that once we've harvested it. Although maybe that could be our little patch of grass if we're going to do sheep. I'm not sure if animals is the way to go on here, but I want to do. I enjoy farming animals on FS, so I think I'll probably try and do some sheep and some chickens. After Kartek's suggestion about doing root crops, I'm really keen to do some root crops, but I don't know if time's going to be an issue. So I only have a 3-meter harvester. Maybe we do the smaller field as a root crop next time. I don't think we've added in any planters, so And that's not bad, is it? It's a 3 meter, which is not wonderful. Or we go, just check I've not run past the end of the field, or we go potatoes. And I should be able to run that. We might struggle with the fact that we don't have a front weight. So maybe we do some sugar beet next time. Need to check my little spreadsheet of which crops are the most profitable to do. So the good news is it didn't take us an hour to get sound sorted this morning, because we are literally recording the next day. So this video is being recorded before the proper first video has come out, because of us both being busy. I'm very busy next week, and it was going to be difficult to fit in, or last week for you to fit in time that we can both be available to record. So we managed to squeeze in recording 2 videos this week, which is cool because it means we've got our setup slightly more down. And I remember what I'm doing. It's a big old field. We're definitely going to need to get a cheap baler put in. Probably the New Holland one, I think, would be quite good, because that's only about 30 grand. So we could maybe even borrow the money to buy that. Although I'm tempted to do a fair bit of leasing on here until we've got some cash behind us. And I'm going to keep checking the sales every hour, because if something good crops up, then I think we will jump on it. So the next plot of land over is 85,000, and we can borrow 75,000. So we're going to need money for the chickens, but I think maybe if we get so I've left a log in that field, we have to make sure we don't combine that. If we get a decent amount of money off the soybeans, I think we can look at buying our second plot of land already. I think the kit we have is big enough to do that, particularly maybe if we don't do root crops, maybe if we stick with crops we can combine for now. We could always replant some grass if we want as well, but I think if we stick with crops we can combine, then I'm comfortable that we can just keep growing. Would be really nice to see a cheap tractor cropping up in the sales. We don't have that many mods added yet, and I think we probably do need to add in some cheaper options for vehicles. We'll need to get rid of the trees, but I think based on previous experience, we might either just chop them down and throw them out of the way for now, or chop them down or destroy them with the lumberjack mod. I know Cartech destroyed some, and it looks like they've actually worked, because I don't see them in the distance. And I think we might have just about enough seed to finish this. We're down to 90 litres. Hopefully you enjoyed the last video. As said, it has not been released yet, but it is a beastly hour and 40 minutes, and this one's probably going to be similar. So I'm not going to be doing huge amounts of editing. There might be the odd time lapse, but mostly it's just going to be the raw footage of us recording for, an hour and a half to 2 hours probably. Hopefully we've got enough fertilizer to cover this field. I don't think we used too much last time. So sorry, I'm just jumping about a little bit as things crop into my brain. There's probably not much point talking about it on this, but the forage dealer TMR sell point mod is still pending testing by the time this video comes out, because I'm recording it a week in advance. Hopefully it's made it through testing and has been released. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, it would be nice to explore more of this map. Obviously Mr. CDP is doing a series on here, and I haven't really watched very much of it yet, so that might help. So far I've liked what I've seen of that series. It's one of 24 litres of seed left. Wow. Let's jump up a gear or two and go grab the fertilizer spreader and get that done. And then I think probably we will progress to the next day, and the soybeans should be ready. Should be. It's actually the first time that I've played with my fast crop growth geo enabled. So I did a lot of testing with it, but first time I've actually played a game with it enabled because... Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You appear to be visiting.
No, I thought I'd come and visit you for a change.
Ah. Someone's put a plough in the way of my fertilizer spreader.
How rude. Let
Very
let me
annoying.
get out your way. Will you
Yeah.
run me over?
I'll just run you over. I had 24 litres of seed left when I finished.
Very good. It's almost like you planned it.
That really wasn't. I was saying that I'm going to seed until I run out or I finish.
I don't actually know how much I got left in mine.
Yeah, I think barley uses quite a lot of seed.
Ah, yes, that would make sense.
Right, I'm going to do a quick bit of fertilizing and then I think I will be good to progress to the next day, assuming that you are as well.
I am indeed. Ready when you are.
I'm guessing you were fertilizing whilst I was finishing seeding.
Exactly. You got it. Right, I'll chat to you in a bit then when you're finished.
Yeah, no problem. I shouldn't be too long, hopefully.
Okie dokie.
I can't remember the control to recenter the GPS course, which is kind of annoying. No. So we'll make a new one. Hopefully I'm in about the right place. Yeah, that's good enough. I need to... so one of the things that I've been looking at using is Sim Dashboard for two reasons. One, remembering all the controls as I switch between VCA and Wops's GPS is sometimes a bit tricky. That's interesting. And also I am finding that... oh, that's really weird. Okay. The keyboard noise, and I've turned GPS off. The keyboard noise, as I use the keys to do things, is kind of coming through in the video audio. I tried to mix it out of the last one with mixed levels of success. So I figured if I was using Sim Dashboard, I have a tablet that I actually brought to use Sim Dashboard on, and I very rarely use it. That would cut some of that noise out, which would probably be useful for my recordings and Kartek's recordings, because he probably also gets those noises coming through. I just haven't got around to really finding a screen that I like. I think I've spoken about this in another video, or building a screen. I might actually sit and build a screen that I like next week whilst I'm away. That fertilizing is very weird. Yeah, I wonder if Kartek's having the same problem. Do like not having crop destruction on as well. Are you awake, Mr. Kartek?
Am I awake? Yes. Are you, have you finished?
I'm not quite, but I don't know. I think I see it a little bit in your field. I'm getting very patchy fertilizing on my field. I'm guessing from maybe depending on whether there was actually grass there when I ploughed it in or not. I'm just curious if you'd seen something similar.
I have exactly the same. Let me just have a look. It is, yeah, yours is the same as mine.
Yeah, mine's got these massive streaks running through it, which is really weird and really going to hurt me. And I think I might be why I lose.
Oh, I see what you mean, actually. Yours is just, you know what it is? It's the, I think the spreaders have got a problem with multiplayer. If you toggle the working width right
Okay.
down and then up again, it should then change it.
Yeah, that's right. Wow.
Yeah,
That's an interesting bug.
yeah. I spotted that on, I think it was a Calmston multiplayer I was playing on.
Good
But
call.
yeah. need someone to do a how to report a bug video.
Yeah, you should see if there's anyone who's done that. I had an incident of that the other day on Facebook. Someone on, I think it was on the Kubota release, someone had posted one on one of the groups about the Kubota pack, and the response was, "Why are they releasing DLCs? When are they going to fix it?" Like, what's broken, and have you reported it? No response.
Yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, and
Utterly frustrating.
fixing bugs is independent of releasing DLCs. It's probably not even the same people.
Yeah, it's going to be a different team, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's like it's one of my real pet peeves. It's like be useful in your communication.
Yeah, give them a clue.
I mean, they've already said they're going to fix, and one of the things they were complaining about was the pallet limit. And they've already said they're going to fix the pallet limit when they do the update. And I'm guessing they'll do the update just before the DLC.
Yeah, most likely.
Because they'll need to add in stuff for the universal passenger, or not universal passenger, the passenger stuff. And there'll be other bits that they want. They want to fix the pallet limit. Although if you're on PC, there's a mod that removes it anyway.
I've seen that, yeah.
And if you're on console, it's probably there for a reason. As much as people dislike it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is half the problem, isn't it? Trying to manage what you'd call not old generation consoles, but
Yeah, it is.
the older ones. I
It's
guess.
dealing with PS4 and Xbox One, which are 9-year-old platforms.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to maintain compatibility across all of that, you've got to expect limitations.
Yes, indeed.
And until they stop supporting the old generation consoles, it's going to be a limiting factor.
Yeah, and people need to try and understand that they don't have to support, the older consoles and try and keep the game as sturdy and as stable as they do for you.
No, I don't really keep up with console gaming anymore. I used to play PlayStation, but since I moved to PC years ago, I've lost touch. I don't know how many other developers release their, brand new release across all platforms. Do PS4 and Xbox One still get many games?
I don't actually know. I think I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know. But I know there was something. What was the game that had all the issues?
Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was mainly again around. It was old gen consoles struggling with it. And there was just massive bugs in the game, I believe.
I'm amazed that they tried to release that on old gen consoles because really high spec PCs struggle to run that.
Yes, exactly, and I think that was half the problem.
It was a game that I was really excited about that game. I first saw trailers for that game probably 15 years ago, I think. It's been in development so
Okay.
long. And I got really excited because I used to play the paper-based Cyberpunk 2020 game
Okay.
when I was a kid. Yes, I was that sad geek. And so I was like, oh, wow, this is going to be awesome. It's going to be this kind of open world role play game. But all the video I've seen of it suggests that it's not the game that I hoped it would be.
Yeah, I was looking at getting it, and then sort of started reading up on it, and yeah, saw all the issues. I thought, I won't bother. So I got to Formula One. What would we be? 2021 maybe, or 2020? I can't remember. Instead, so yeah,
I haven't played a proper driving game in a very long time.
I played a driving game. Whether it's properly or not is another matter.
I'm done with my work for today, so if you would like to progress to the morning, we can probably do some harvesting.
Okie dokie. I will head into my lovely cabin.
I'm going to sleep in the combine.
Head, aren't you? What time would you like to wake up?
Should we go for 8 a.m.?
It's like a plan. See you in the morning.
What a lovely morning.
Oh, you're a bit hazy.
Looks like
Leave the
fine.
door open.
Looks like fine combining weather to me.
Does indeed. Look at that. Ready to harvest. Right. Better get the combine out then, chap.
I'm already there.
Oh, yeah, you slept in it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
I obviously didn't plan that very well because I don't really have a lot of room to get past the silo, so we'll do some slightly unrealistic combining here, and let's see how much we get for our first crop. And we're off. We're not crash into the silo. Yes, I know, I always crash. I don't think we're going to get a huge amount off of here, and I don't think it's going to take very long, so we will probably try and get this field replanted, I think. See if we can grab a screenshot. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Oh, missed a bit. We can't afford to leave anything in the field, I don't think. So yeah, this is a very different play experience for me. Usually we'll have seasons running properly. Now precision farming. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. The whole, just whack the mic. It's kind of interesting, running through things much quicker. Interested to know what my regular viewers think of something like this, because it might be good for the next survival series when it comes back. Just because of the faster pace, and I can do more farming rather than contracting. Obviously on the Obeleron series, I relied a lot on contracting to make up for not having fields to work. It's kind of frustrating that I didn't get a little bit of barley in the ground on that first day, because we could have got the chickens in. There's that bit of tree. I think if we have a lot of time, may see if we can add in some mods, and let's check the deals. Yeah. Curious to see what's on offer. Oh, there is a little, that's a planter. Oh, there's a pair of butterfly mowers for 11 grand. But we don't have a lot of grass to mow. No, maybe not. 20% full and almost one headland done. I wonder if we will even fill the combine up. And what's the soybean prices like today? They should be good. They should be good all of the time. Soybeans, 5.5 grand. I'll take that. So we should actually, this crop plus the loan should get us our second plot of land, I think. So as soon as we can, we want to get into ploughing that in. We're going to need to go and buy some seed. We'll do 2 headlands. I think we don't need to worry about the auger particularly. Yeah, we need to get some more seeds, some more fertilizer. Actually, maybe if we buy the plot of land, maybe that's when we want the mowers, so that we can take some grass off of there, maybe. Yeah. We'll see what kind of situation in once we've sold this crop. But I think getting a second plot of land straight away is going to be the way to go. Just to see how the map looks. Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see how much both of us get. I didn't do a particularly big field just because I wanted to get a crop in the ground quickly. I could probably be using GPS, but I think we'll be fine without it. It is a nice big combine. Maybe we will put GPS on now. We've got it enabled, so it would make sense to. I'm a noob. I think I have missed recording a nice little chunk of what we were doing, which is kind of frustrating because with multiplayer we can't go back. So not entirely sure how much I have missed. Maybe not too much. So yeah, I'll basically in case I do need to recap, we progressed through the night, and I'm into harvesting the soybeans. So we've got GPS running, we've done a couple of headlands, and not looking like a massive yield off of here. Should be getting hopefully about 5,500 per 1,000 litres. So actually we're up to 20 grand's worth of soybeans already, which is kind of cool actually, because we need 85 to buy the plot of land next to us, and we can borrow 75. So that is my plan, is as soon as we're done with harvesting, get the new plot of land, get that going. This is when having a second tractor would be good, because we could, at this point, we could run off and sell the first combine load and be ploughing. I might actually do that. I might empty into the trailer and get a worker off to deliver the first bit of soybeans. And because we can't get a worker going on the ploughing anyway, so maybe not. Keep checking the sales. So there are some mowers in the sales, which might be useful, but I think at the moment what we really need is a second tractor for situations like this. But we probably need courseplay to be able to take advantage of that until we've got fields marked out, so maybe not. So this is an interesting challenge as to how to play this to progress quickly. See Cartex green combine off in the distance. We have the same combine, it's part of the same pack. Just had 2 colour options. He's making pretty solid progress through that actually. Yeah, so one of the downsides of this kind of multiplayer and live recording is when I forget to hit record, I can't go back. So if I did miss it, apologies. If not, you won't be hearing this because it'll be time-lapsed. Yeah, it's a nice looking bit of kit. 6,000 litres, it's pretty good. Not sure how much the trailer holds. Let's have a quick look once we get that going. Trailer is 14,000 litres. Yeah, we're not going to fill the trailer, so we'll just do it in one run. And yeah, I reckon we're going to get about 50 grand off of here, which is pretty cool. So we're definitely going to buy, I think, plot 17 straight away, 85 grand, and maybe ploughing a field across here and down there as well. Actually, what I'm thinking is that it would probably be a good idea, if we can afford it, once we've got the first field ploughed in, to lease a tractor to plant the second field. I don't know what it would cost to lease one of these. Not a lot yet. I think that's what we're going to try and do. If we've got enough cash, we're going to buy the big plot of land next to us, plough the first field in, lease a tractor to run the seeder and get that seeding with a worker, and whilst we plough in the other field. And unfortunately, I think that would be sensible probably to do another cash crop of soybeans, I think. Maybe not the most interesting content, but I think another cash crop of soybeans is probably the way to go. And that will give us a really, based on what we're getting off of here, that's going to give us a really nice cash boost to get a bit more kit going so that we can farm this. I think the 2 plots of land might be enough for a little while, but so that we can farm them more efficiently. And that big field of soybeans that Kartek has got to harvest next game day is going to give him a big hit of cash. But we're going to be getting eggs and straw, so we'll see how that plays out in the long term. I think maybe the 1 million is not enough, because we're going to get nearly 50 grand off of just this little field. So he's probably going to get off that big plot maybe 150 grand. So yeah, we have got through this field pretty quick. I think we've got 1 and a bit more rows to do, and then it's a shame it's not all going to fit in the combine. I'm trying to think of really stupid ideas for being able to keep everything working. Yeah, we are nearly full. We did, in fact, fill the combine. Jump in the tractor and get that emptied, and then we'll do the last little bit. Barley is looking good. Having the jewels on the back feels like a bad choice at this point, but Kartek's about the same. He's nearly done. He's obviously filled his combine up as well. I think that'll be enough. We should be able to finish off the harvest, and then we'll dump into the trailer and go get it sold. Really enjoying this. Really enjoying it. It's really interesting mental exercise as to which way is the way to go, and planning out if we buy another plot of land, we need to then plough and seed and fertilise, and we need to replough this field and double fertilise it. So I think what we need to do on this field actually is get a layer of fertiliser going. So as soon as we get back, I think I'm going to go and lease that second tractor, get the plot of land brought, release that second tractor. Maybe not. Maybe we'll wait until we've got a field ploughed in. But we've got this field and the next field to plough, so maybe we actually release the second tractor and plough. That's very tempting, actually. That is very tempting. There we go. See how many oats we got. We don't need to put the combine away particularly. I'm just going to park it up behind the shed over there, and we'll need it again next game day. So we can go run this down to the sell point. First harvest done. Let's just tab. So used to not tabbing. At 9,000 litres. Pretty good. Not quite what I was hoping for, but yeah, I'll take that. And we are just going to ignore the roads and cut straight across towards the sell point. Looks like Caltech's done as well. Good harvest.
Yes, not bad actually, and I've just seen the price.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It is. I'm loving it. Just need to work out now where I'm going. I'm guessing you're going to the same place, so I'm going to follow you.
That may or may not be the best idea in the world. Better put on the marker, I
Set a
think.
marker, I think, just in case you try and trick me.
I was just doing exactly the same thing.
Ah, the beacon in the sky. There we go.
It's annoying that we set up to be near the shop and the sell point, and actually the sell point we want is across the other side of the map.
It does seem a fair distance away, doesn't it?
Why do I have a £200,000 loan?
Don't know. Do I as well then?
I
Hold
don't
on
know.
a minute.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do as well. I wondered why my money was going down. It's the interest, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we might need to fix that.
Yeah, I think we do. Yep.
We can use the money in the spare third farm to send 200,000 over to each of us to wipe it out, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Very clean way of doing it.
I'm not actually sure where the sell point is down here.
No, nor me. I can't say I've ever been.
I sold some lumber down here, which is way down here, but I'm wondering if the reason the price is good is that you need to put it in the train carriages.
Figure a pair, is there? Let's have a look.
F5 doesn't show a trigger either. I think you actually need to put them in the carriages, which is why they pay so much more. Because you need a conveyor or something to get it up into the carriage.
Not liking that.
Yeah, F5 doesn't show a trigger at all. So there's a trigger for pallets by the looks of it on the trailer that I'm next to, and a trigger for bales on the bale trailer, but it's actually on the trailer and it's quite small. I think that might have been a wasted journey.
Yeah. Well, I have not completely wasted, because I'm just looking in this hut, and it's got the markings of where the gold is. I know the gold's worthless, but whether they're actually dynamic and it moves or not, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so. I assume they're like the collectibles in the base game maps.
Yeah, quite possibly. Hold on a minute. There's a trigger down there for something by that hut.
Down the far end? I think that's just lumber.
Just behind you. Hold on. I'm on my way. Probably quicker.
Oh, no, that's a graphical one.
Is it? Hold on.
I'm going to wait in case I end up driving round and round the map, but...
Train traffic off. Train traffic on. Has that done anything? Don't think it has.
No, it doesn't look like it from here.
No.
I think you have to actually load into the train.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, but that explains why the price is so high compared to...
Yeah, because you're putting more effort in, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh.
Back to the sell points that are close to the farm.
What a waste of diesel. Never mind.
Get this sold and then sort the money out.
Yeah, good plan.
I think what you turned on is the animated train that's just pulling past.
Turned him off again just in case it messed with things.
I made a rookie mistake earlier and paused my recording for a little bit and forgot to unpause it.
Oh. Oops.
Yeah.
I've been in and out, just doing little bits. So
I think I'm going to stick with the just record it all in one go and then I'll edit it afterwards.
I suppose at least that way you won't forget to press record or unpause it.
Exactly.
I don't think I actually know how to pause it. I just F9 and start and stop.
Well, when I say pause, I meant I stopped it and... Oh, keyboard disconnect. Just ignore me driving through your field.
It did look slightly close to my field.
Yeah. Oh. I use a switch to switch between 3 different computers when I'm in the home office, and sometimes it randomly disconnects, which messes the steering up.
Ah, that old chestnut.
It's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
So I guess instead we will run up to the sell point up here and sell it, because yeah, I had no idea that the sell point down at the train station required you to manually load things into it. That's kind of cool, but kind of frustrating. I guess it would be good to see if we can pick a cheap auger wagon up, because that extra crop would be quite useful. Or extra cash. So I think maybe we'll try and do that for the next harvest. But hopefully, there we go. So let's see how much we get for our first crop. And we can actually pick up a bag of fertilizer while we're up here as well. Let's buy that and maybe put it in Cartec's way. So 34,000 for the harvest. Pretty pleased with that. So yeah, we'll do a proper Cartec and take it back on the pallet forks if I can pick them up. We're going to need to come back to... Are we going to need to come back up to the store? Anyway, we'll just bring the seeder up here to get more seed. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's see how much Cartec made. Oh, pretty much tied still. That's kind of funny. And I've just brought a bag of fertilizer. So yeah, looks like we are pretty close. I'm going the wrong way. Try not to lose the bag of fertilizer. So yeah, we just need to sort the loan situation out now. Slightly annoying. Not a problem. Yeah, going to get a quick layer of fertilizer on the field that we've just harvested. Actually, maybe we'll do that all in one hit. I think what we need to do is work on getting that next field ploughed in. We're just going to drop the trailer here. Actually, I can't do that because I need to buy the land. See if he responds to a hail on chat.
Hello.
Would you like to sort out the cash situation, sir?
Yes, I will. Let me...
Because you're probably the only one that can do it without me risking losing all of my permissions.
Yes, that is probably correct. I will attempt to... So, if I go into heat...
Should just be able to send 200 grand to each farm from the third farm. I'm just going to run up to the store and grab the seed that we need to refill the seeder. I should have picked up some seed bags. Thank you, sir.
Absolute pleasure. I shall be checking that you paid off your loan.
Done. It was really nice to see all that money for a second.
Glimmer of how the future will be.
Yeah, what a clever idea bringing back a bag of fertilizer on the pallet forks.
No, I can't think where I got that idea from.
You should have probably picked seed up as well.
Might not need it yet.
True, you might not.
If I'd have been quicker, I'd have tried to scoop up your bag of fertiliser. That's what I was saying a minute ago anyway.
Underhanded tactics. Ooh, what have we got here at the shop?
Hide it.
Someone's made a new purchase.
I couldn't get it in blue though, unfortunately.
So you're going to get a couple of bags of seed to so we can do those big soybean crops. I do admire your persistence with the worrying about rolling and mulching.
What is it that Tesco says? Every little helps.
At Tesco's or Asda?
No, Asda's the smack your bum thing.
Yeah. One of my dogs is currently being annoying and barking in the background.
Can't hear it if that's any consolation.
That is good. That is good. He's going to be ignored for a little while because I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine.
It's when they go quiet as well, you've got to worry. Oh dear, what are they doing? It's like
Yeah.
kids.
I might actually need to run down and check on him, so I will talk to you in a little while.
Okay, catch you in a bit.
And through the magic of editing, I am hopefully back. So, yeah, interesting. Kartek's going for the mulcher. That'll give him a little bonus on the crop. What we are going to do, I've just realised that actually I don't need to plough that field again because we've got a direct drill. Actually, we need to plough that little tiny piece in, so let's go do that. And then I'm going to spread a bit of fertiliser, get the second tractor, and we're going to put the second tractor on the seeder and get that seeding in here, and we're going to start putting in our new fields in our new plot of land. So let's allow create fields. Get rid of this bit. We shouldn't need to plough anything. There we go. Let's check. No. So yeah, we'll quickly fertilise, and then I'm going to go and grab that second tractor. Did I turn create fields off? I'm not sure. We may end up with a bit of ploughed field in the middle of our... No, we're good. Right, let's hook this first spreader up. We'll do the little trick of changing the width again, and then crack on. Should have brought two backs actually by the looks of it. Oh well. Can always run back up to the store for some more. Yeah, I'm at this point I'm not going to worry about mulching and rolling. We're going to try and get more crops in the ground. I think that is a much better way of trying to progress. Yeah, we'll do a layer of solid fert now. We'll get the second tractor seeding, and we'll start ploughing in a third field. I think that is a sensible plan to try and make progress. There's obviously, along with the financial element, there is a time element to this game, and we need to get stuff done before it gets dark. Because next game day we will have to harvest the barley. Because that'll be ready. And then we can get our chickens. Yeah, so what I might do is if I can start the seeder this side, I might plough this field a little bit wider. We might just start the new field right up next to it. That didn't take too long at all. I'm just checking I'm still recording and I haven't screwed up again. So, yes, the yard is going to get messy. I am in a hurry. We know this tractor runs the plough, okay, so we're basically going to lease another version of this, I think. So let's jump into the store menu. I think this is the cheapest option. It's 55 for a... We don't really have any mods installed. Let's just do a quick check of the sales. Yeah. So, wheels. Yeah, no, that makes it much more expensive. So we'll go single row crops. Do everything except the engine as standard. So that's going to be $3,000 to lease that. We are going to borrow the money to buy the plot of land. We're allowed up to 75, so that's fine. And then we're going to return what we don't need. There we go. Let's tab over to our new old tractor. And hello.
Because we started a bit earlier today without having the sound issues, I needed a comfort break.
That's old age.
Thanks very much for that.
My pleasure.
I remembered what I was going to say yesterday.
What was that?
The teaser.
Yes.
For the DLC.
Oh yes.
And
the what is, I can't remember what the ALSOB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that, yeah.
There's a few options for what that could be from, and you found one, I think.
Yes. It's German, and it's a conjunctive. And then you Google conjunctive and farming, and it comes up with like water irrigation and water management. So just can't think what it would be though.
Yeah, and I googled it and I came up. There's a super efficient hydraulic drive system that one of the telehandler manufacturers uses. And it's a brand that's not in the game yet. So I thought that was an option, and someone else found one. I think it's something from Yara to do with crop scanning.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure someone else has found stuff that it maybe definitely is, but at the moment, to me, it feels like there are a lot of options.
Yes, definitely. I think. I mean, it'd be cool if they bring water management into the game, and if you don't have rain, it affects the yield or something along those lines. I don't know if it would be.
Yeah, I'm fairly new to farm sim. I don't know if in FS 15 or 17 there were any kind of things like that where crop moisture was more of a thing. I mean, Seasons sort of had it, but not really in 19.
Yeah, it was more you can't harvest.
Yeah.
If it was too wet, wasn't it? It had to be below 20%, I think.
Yeah, and you had the whole thing where if your grass was drier, then you dry to hay quicker and that kind of thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I forgot about that. Someone's left a combine in a really annoying position.
That's very bad of them. You should have a word with them about that.
I think I'm going to sack them. But yeah, I do like the teasers. I couldn't work out the binary code one they put up. That was, in the end, it was Kubota, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think it was one of their brand messages or something, I think.
Okay.
And whenever gaming companies use those, I just jump into Google, because you can quickly Google binary to ASCII converters and throw them in.
Yes.
And it's a pretty lame way of hiding stuff. And the same using Morse code wasn't exactly cutting edge cryptography.
No, there is that, yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm still excited about the Kubota pack. I think it's going to be fun to have a new brand. I don't know whether the fourth one, or sorry, the third one is the one that's going to include the map or not. So the one after the Kubota DLC.
Forgotten about the map. It's going to be.
It's going to be a giant map, so it's probably not going to be super exciting, but.
No, I'm just thinking more of the location, because we've got Elm Creek, which is obviously American. The Hobaileron, however you want to say it.
Hobaileron?
Hobaileron.
Or Ubaloo, or whatever Daggerwing calls it.
Hoobaloo. But yeah, I can't think where the other one may end up being.
No, I mean, wouldn't it be nice? Well, no, it probably wouldn't because they'd probably do it badly. Wouldn't it be nice if it was a UK map?
Yeah, it wouldn't. I bet they hated it when Calmston came out. They were like, "Oh, right, that's that one then. We can't compete with that."
I think they're probably quite grateful when someone like Oxy makes a map.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was.
There is a reason that he got priority testing and got rushed through testing and rushed through retesting.
Yes, I
They
agree.
desperately needed a map like Calmston to keep FS22's momentum going.
Yeah, agreed. Completely. Yeah, it certainly did them a favour there.
Yeah, I think, and we had No Man's Land come really quickly, and it's going to sound weird because we're now playing on a map that's a lot like No Man's Land, but that didn't excite me when No Man's Land dropped at all.
No, I think because it was a 19 one, wasn't it? And we'd all sort of seen it.
Yeah, and it only really suits a particular play style, which is not a bad thing because it's the play style that we're using on here.
Yeah.
But until I did this, it's not really a play style that I've embraced. So
No, same. But it doesn't. It's a nice change, isn't it? It's a nice play style. It's a lot more slower paced, I find.
it's a mixture because having a crop ready on the second day of playing is kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, I
And
did say that.
we're going to have we're both going to have another crop to harvest next game day.
But it keeps. You're not waiting, are you? Like on
No,
Calmsden, kind of have to like maybe do a contract or two to fill in time. But with this, it's going to be constant. We're not going to be waiting around for anything.
yeah, there's in theory there should always be something to do, and I'm wondering if actually it'll get to the point where it's quite hard to do everything at once.
Yes, I think you might be right, and there's, but that makes it interesting then because you have to prioritise. Like me now, I'm mulching.
Yeah,
Should I be doing that in the
I'm
future, or do I actually just seed and crack on again, or do something else?
yeah, I'm not mulching. But
I'm
then
here
again, I
with you.
I barely mulch when I'm playing on a proper one because the benefit is quite small.
It is
So,
minimal, yes.
yeah, doing it on this, I think maybe once we get more advanced, I mean, I'm quite impressed with making 30 odd grand from a first harvest.
Yeah, definitely. It was. I was impressed by that. To be fair, I
I
wasn't thinking I'd get so much.
No, I wonder whether the £1 million goal is going to be breached very quickly, and maybe we need to go much higher.
Possibly, yes. I think. Yeah, with prices like that, and especially if we can work out how to use the train yard.
Yeah, I think might have to have a look at that offline.
Yeah, it could be an interesting test for the public farm, couldn't it?
That is a very good idea.
Schedule that in after we have finished this recording, I think.
Yeah, I had meant to. There were a few things that I wanted to test, and I never actually got round to it between. Yeah, even after we did the trailer and the little intro or the first video, I wanted to have a look around the map and do some bits, and I just haven't had a chance to do them yet. So it'll be a fun test.
It will, to be fair, and yeah, I'm the same. I just have not had chance to go and look elsewhere. Like you say, other than the doing the flyover and that for the trailer, and just going to the train yard then with you and having a look round. I haven't been anywhere else, so but I quite like that because it will be always a surprise.
Keep needing to put manual gearbox on because I my little tractor is struggling.
Today, don't know about you, but I'm got half a tank of fuel left, and repairs on about the same.
Yeah, pretty much, which I don't think is too bad for the amount of work that we've done. I just seem to be struggling with traction today.
I noticed a bit of wheel slip yesterday when ploughing on, when I was filling in, doing the last pass, and I was actually on the mud rather than driving on the grass. But other than that, it's been a right little workhorse.
Yeah, and I'm kind of half on field and half on grass, and that might be the problem.
Yeah, I think that's what I struggled with yesterday.
Hopefully, we'll address that problem shortly and be just on grass. So it seems to be where it's on mixed terrain. It's not happy.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you were going to say you were going to fix the problem by getting a bigger tractor then.
Quad track.
Quad track.
I've spent half an hour driving around in one on Calmston, and I'm convinced that quad track is the answer to most things.
If it's red, leave it in the shed.
I've heard that somewhere else as well. I I am really not that fussed about the whole red versus green thing, as not being a real farmer, I guess. And my favourite brand of tractor is, well, I'm quite partial to both actually, but my favourite is Deutz, which is a bit more random.
That is quite random. I do like the look of the Deutzes, to be fair, and the one, is it the Warrior
Yeah,
version, the big one? I like that.
yeah. The 9 Series Warrior is a really nice looking tractor, and yeah, that's just a bit different. And I've seen a few driving around in the UK, so they're not that rare. It's not like it's something that's completely unrepresentative when I'm doing a UK farm to have Deutz.
I don't know if I've actually seen any. It's more Massey's, Case, John Deere. A lot of fast tracks actually around here.
Yeah, we locally it seems to be a mixture of John Deere and fast tracks from what I've seen, and the odd, really weirdly, I think it's because the soil around here is so heavy. The nearest farmer to me has a big Fendt 2 track, which he uses to pull 4 meter implements.
Wowzers.
But we have very heavy clay soil, and I think it is just that it needs that so much power to get through the awful ground.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's quite amusing. You go into FS, and we're pulling a 6 meter plough with a 180 horsepower tractor, and a 6 meter seeder with the same tractor, and then I go out round the local farm, and he's got 3 or 4 meter implements behind his probably 300 or 400 horsepower tractor.
Yeah, mad, isn't it? Yeah, I suppose needs must and all that.
Yeah, I can't imagine that he's brought it just for the hell of it, because it's not a cheap bit of kit. And yeah, I don't think you'd just go and spend probably best part of 300 grand on a tractor if you could get away with something smaller.
Yeah, absolutely. It's clearly required. I think the biggest I've seen round here was there was a Challenger. No, yeah, there was a Challenger that was doing some seeding, the 2 track ones, and then years ago there was a quad track that was doing cultivating on a rather large field. But yeah, it's I love seeing the big kit.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't think I've ever seen a quad track in real life. I mean, most of the farmland around here is not really big enough to even justify the big Fendt that they've got. And most of their non-field work tractors are like John Deere 6 Series and fast tracks.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think that's the thing, and that's very representative of Calmsden in a way, isn't it? The fields are a decent size, pretty big in most cases, but the lanes and the gate entrances, or field entrances, sorry, are not the biggest. So
Yeah, I think
it
that's
takes a lot
pretty.
longer.
It's pretty representative of actually what the UK's like. You know,
Yeah,
you don't really find those big wide roads that lead to farms here. I guess the closest you might get is down, over sort of Norfolk, Suffolk way, where they're doing a lot of, like the big potato and arable areas, where you'll
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
see, you've got big, flat, reasonably good condition roads, and I think that's where you're likely to see your quad tracks and your 9RXs that we were talking about before.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're probably right. To be fair, I don't actually think I've ever been up there and had a reasonable look around. But yeah, I think you're right. It's
Yeah,
varying, isn't it?
again, work has sent me over that way, and I've driven around it a bit, mostly before I was interested in farming, but or in fake farming. But yeah, there are some big, big flat open fields there. It's interesting that we've never really seen a map from that kind of part of the UK.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually.
Kind of the fenlands, open farming area. The sort of the big potato farming and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's without, but well, no. I was gonna say without a nice big cheaty potato harvest would be torture in the game. But real life, they don't have the big kit, and it takes them days, doesn't it,
Yeah,
to do
and
the
the
harvests?
big ones, they're quite often using lots of kit as well. And if you've seen, like a video of a big potato field being planted, they've probably got four or six tractors running, doing all the different steps.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've seen sort of field near us. They put potatoes in every now and again, and the work that goes in to prepping the field, the de-stoning, how they make the beds and then shape them and all this lot. I sound like a right geek, but it is fascinating to watch.
Yeah, the last time that I ran an ultra marathon, they were ridging a potato field on one of the bits of the course, and it was really interesting to watch the process through the day as they slowly ground their way across the field, basically putting in two ridges at a time.
Yeah,
And that was behind a fairly meaty tractor. It was a big, I think it was a John Deere, probably 6250R, something like that. It was a big tractor.
yeah, yeah.
But they were moving so much earth about that they're just working with really narrow equipment. And I think that's just the reality of the real world farming again, isn't it? That you know, there aren't many farms where you'd be running a 6 metre plough.
No, no. Um, I hadn't realised the reason why they moved the stones until recently,
Why is that?
because it affects the shape of the potatoes,
Wow, that's really random. And I guess a lot of people care about the shape of their potato.
the shape of your spuds.
I was trying to keep it clean and adult
PG.
and mature, and
But to be fair, that's took us what, an hour before any innuendo has crept in.
oh, way more than that because we've been chatting for an hour and a half at this point, and I think we can consider ourselves having done well.
That is probably a record for us, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah, it's an interesting point because and when I look at the stats on YouTube, most of the people that watch my videos are slightly younger than me, but not significantly. And I never really ponder the fact that there might be kids watching stuff, and most of what we say and what I say in my videos is probably kid friendly, but there is the odd rant and the odd maybe more adult comment, and but I guess that's a bit like how people like Disney and Pixar do stuff these days.
Yeah, exactly. There's always a bit of an innuendo to some stuff, isn't there?
Definitely. How's your mulching going?
It's done.
Impressive.
I know. It was quite a good speed, that one.
I've not used that one before. Is that I guess you had to put it on the back, but I think that's one that you can mount on the front, isn't it?
I think it might be, actually, yes.
Because that's been something that I've been looking at maybe is because I'm not a fan of mulching particularly, but if I could get a front mulcher that was the same sort of width as my seeder, particularly with like precision farming and direct drilling, because mulching does give a slightly bigger bonus, it seems, with precision farming. It would be interesting if you could run the mulcher on the front and then just direct drill behind it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing without, I think didn't Alien Paul do something similar on the stream the other night?
Yeah,
Wasn't he
they
mulching and cultivating at the same time?
yep, yeah, he was running I think he tends to run that kind of fairly small 3-4 meter kit. I think he had a small mulcher on the front and a cultivator on the back.
Yeah, it was a good setup that, especially on the fast track.
Yeah, and coming with Maize Plus, we've got there's a mulcher for it's just a mulcher, but it's aimed at grass work. So you can, once you've mown, you can mulch, and then it's got the grassland subsoiler to go on the back, so you can do one pass mulching and subsoiling.
Ah, that is clever. Very efficient.
It's a very nice looking setup, and it's one of the bits that I'm looking forward to when we finally get there with Maize Plus. That and it's only really an issue once, I guess, but I really dislike having to plough almost every grass field that you own in when you start playing on a map.
Yeah, yeah. You should be able to stitch in grass seed, shouldn't you, or something like that?
Yeah,
You wouldn't. Well, they do in some cases, don't they? They do plough up and start again if it's really bad, but
yeah, but I think the fact that it's almost every time you start a map, you have to plough all of the grass in, and whereas what this does allows you to do is run like a swad lifter through the field, and it fixes the need ploughing state. It fertilizes, which is kind of cool as well.
that would be interesting. I do like that. I remember watching. I think it was Tom Pemberton when they were doing the sword lifting, is it? I don't know what
I
you call
think
it.
it's sward. I think it's got a D
Yeah.
in it, but I'm not sure.
And yeah, that was a really medieval torture-looking bit of kit that was. But
Yeah, they're pretty brutal looking things.
yeah,
He's been cutting his grass this week, hasn't he?
he has and mowing over manholes.
Yeah, and I watched. Oh, there's a bit of a lag spike. I watched yesterday's because Ollie Blogs has lent him a fast track. Don't know if you
He
saw
has,
that.
yeah. He has, yeah.
And I was watching. Tom's obviously been to the Disturbed School of Driving. Because in the Ollie Blogs video yesterday, when Ollie was picking his fast track up, the trailer had some bits missing.
Oh, I did. I saw it. I saw it pop up on YouTube. I haven't watched it yet, but I did see the sort of in the title of the video. It says, "Oh, what's Tom Pemberton done to my trailer?" Or something.
Yeah. I really like that those two are collaborating a bit more because they're both really enjoyable to watch. And yeah, in the video that you haven't watched yet, Ollie was like, well, basically, it would have just been sat in the yard waiting until we need it in summer. So my friend might as well borrow it, which is kind of
why
cool.
not help? Yeah, why not help him out?
Yeah. I mean, they
back.
desperately need another tractor on that farm, don't they?
He does.
I think he said that they were expecting a demo.
Yeah, it's stuck at customs or something. I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I wonder whether it's another case that they're getting.
Quite possibly. He does tend to get the demos for this time of year when they're doing sort of more
well, they're doing a lot more
tractor work, I guess.
Yeah, they're doing a lot more field work, and it's a good advert for Case, isn't it? If it's in a premium farming YouTuber's videos.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got nearly 500,000 subs, is it now? Something like that.
I'm not sure. And I was watching. I watched 10th Generation Dairyman, who's one of the Canadian ones that I watch, and they've just got a demo of a Massey 6S, and it's one of 12 in the world, and I think he said it was the only one in North America.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it's a nice bit of kit as well.
Nice looking bit of kit, and I think it's really cool that these guys they're putting a lot of effort into making videos and promoting farming, and that the big manufacturers are recognising that and helping them out a bit, because having a brand new tractor on the farm is probably quite nice. And
Absolutely.
it's a good way of getting a bit of free advertising as well, isn't it?
It is, and it's like when the millennial farmers had, we had the what did? Oh no, it wasn't. It was Larson Farms had the Challenger, didn't they? I think for a while.
Yeah, they've had I don't watch much of their stuff, but I did watch a couple where they had at least one Challenger on demo.
Yeah, yeah, it was a beast. That was absolute beast.
We're going for a different crop this time, Mr. Kartek.
Yes, while we were chatting, I was just perusing the price list,
Yeah,
taking out the train station
yeah.
for now.
We'll
Not assuming that we will be able to use that.
I'm pretty sure we will. I think it might mean that you just need to spend a bit of money. I think you're going to need an
Doesn't seem
auger or
well.
a belt system to load up into the train carriage.
Yes, I think you might be right. And depending on how the test goes, we could maybe put that into a vote. Do we purchase one on the public farm, or do we need to have our own?
Yeah, I guess if we brought, I don't know how it would work, because if we brought it on the other farm, we'd need to use it with contractor rights, and we need to do some testing on that, whether it would sell as being our crop or the other farm's crop, because we're
That's a fair
using their
point.
kit.
Yeah,
I think if we find that you need to use an auger to do it, it'll just be down to us as to whether we decide it's worth the cost for our farm of using an auger or not.
yeah, no, that sounds like a fair shout. Yeah,
And I guess the only thing is that if we do, if one of us chooses to do it, don't leave the auger in the way, because otherwise it will just get smashed out of the way when the next person comes along.
when you come along.
Maybe. What are you saying about my driving skills?
Got a bad rep for driving skills, haven't you? To be
I
fair.
have. I'm not that bad.
I don't think it's completely justified.
Almost. Almost. But I
Yeah.
take it. I go with it. It's fine.
I tell you something. For the amount of seed that canola uses, this could be quite worthwhile, I think.
Yeah, I'm sticking. I'm being really boring, and I'm sticking with soybeans for my second crop. I was quite pleased with how well that paid out. So
Yeah, I was surprised, to be fair. And I was, I think we had a kind of this similar size field, didn't we, as well? So
pretty
decent
much,
yield. Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, when I saw the price, I got really excited when it was over at the train station, because I thought, wow, this is going to be a lot of money.
Yeah, and me. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, but next time, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully, because from our point of view, there's going to be a little bit of a break maybe in recording. That hopefully our setups maintain consistent, because it was fairly smooth going today.
It was, surprisingly. I think yesterday morning's stress has paid off, because it was just a little bit of a tweak, wasn't it, this morning, and a reboot of OBS and Discord, and we were good to go.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Just a professional.
Almost.
We'll see how it ends. We'll see how the end product turns out.
Yeah,
Again.
yeah. So my next job in the one of the worst paid jobs in the world is to try and upload the video that we recorded yesterday, which took 9 hours to render, because I used my old laptop to render it, because I didn't want to waste. It'd probably been about 4 on my main laptop, but I didn't want to lose 4 hours of time when I could do other stuff. So I'm guessing it's going to be a good 4 hours to upload it to.
And then it's just the processing time, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got a video that should come out later today that's processing, so I don't want to upload another one because YouTube doesn't seem to like it if you have more than one video processing.
Oh, okay. I set two going yesterday. The our multiplayer one and a Calmsden one that will come out today, I think. And they both uploaded all right, and then the Calmsden one had processed overnight, and our one was still going, chugging away.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably because if I'm uploading two at once, I probably want one of them to be ready within the next few hours, and so I get really, sitting there refreshing YouTube constantly to see if it's done enough that it's at least got 1080p, so it's watchable for people.
Yeah, I do the same, to be fair.
And then as we've chatted about with the final episode of the survival challenge, which released and then I had to withdraw because it hadn't processed. YouTube just screws you on the views then, because no one gets a notification that it's been re-released, and I think that's probably sitting at maybe a third of the views it would have normally got,
which is a real shame, because for the final episode and the effort that you put into that harvest, it is a shame, and I don't get why it does that, because if you reschedule it, surely it should class it as a new video, but clearly not.
Maybe it's to stop bigger YouTubers that get a lot of algorithm help from releasing videos twice.
Yeah, quite possibly.
But I might end up re-uploading it if I've got a day where I haven't got a video. If it's still sitting really low on views, I might just re-upload a fresh copy of it, and everyone who has watched it can watch it again, and everyone who hasn't seen it even exists will actually get to watch it.
Yeah, double bubble.
Yeah. Because I've got not many. I've got Greenland's uploading for hopefully today if it processes. I've got a Calmsden video to edit. In theory, I need to edit and do a commentary for tomorrow, which is just not going to happen now. So I might re-upload the survival challenge for tomorrow, and then multiplayer for Sunday, and then I have nothing. So it might be a quiet week on my channel next week.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it? And that's one of the things. The amount, we could spend 2 hours odd recording, and then that needs to be edited, uploaded, or rendered, sorry, then uploaded, processed. It's not a quick task at all, is it?
No, and I think I know a lot of people prefer when I do longer videos, like the 40 to 50-minute videos. And the problem with that is that the editing time then doubles at least, because I like to listen to the whole video, even if I'm listening to it whilst I'm working or whatever. The rendering time doubles, the upload time doubles. It all just takes a lot longer, and the only thing that's probably less doing a really long video is the playtime. Because if I'm time lapsing and I'm cutting stuff out, it tends to be more like about 4 hours of gameplay. Rather than like this will be a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I don't know how your videos work out for sort of video time to game time, but mine are. I probably play for 3 to 4 hours to record an hour. I probably play for maybe about 3 hours and record about an hour's worth of that to make a video.
Yeah, I probably a couple of hours, depending on what I'm doing. Really, I suppose. If there's a big old field and I'm doing it myself, then obviously it takes a fair amount of time. But yeah, to get 25-30-minute video is easily 2 hours, maybe more.
Yeah, and we both have a bad addiction to contracts.
We do, indeed.
And so I've just done 3 harvesting contracts on Calmsden on pretty big fields. And that took a really long. I enjoyed it, but it took a really long time, and I only recorded a tiny fraction of it because harvesting contracts are it's an entire video, but it's not the most exciting thing sometimes, I don't think.
Yeah, and I think again that's another thing, isn't it? It's trying to keep the video entertaining whilst harvest season. I think I did 3, maybe 4 videos on it, and you think, oh,
Yeah,
is this getting a bit samey?
I can see
But
me doing that on Calmsden because it's June. Some of the contract fields are ready to harvest. My own aren't yet, and there's going to be root crops and all sorts of stuff. I can see me harvesting for like 6 videos easily.
yeah, no, same. And I mean, at the minute I'm planting, and then made the mistake of, as you are well aware,
Never
doing
ask
a
the
vote,
audience.
doing a vote, and I will leave that there for now, and we'll talk about that another time.
Yes, never ask the audience when the audience includes people like me.
Saw the comments, I was like, oh, really?
Yeah. When Just Dad Adam, who's on the Discord server as well, he used to stream, and
Oh,
he
okay,
he
yeah.
used to like having a bit of audience participation, and he did ask, "What should I plant in a field?" And he had a vote option in his Twitch stream, but he didn't limit how many votes you could cast. It was just done on like spending the chat currency that he had. And a couple of us had quite a lot of it from sitting watching him, and basically
Yeah.
just spammed Poplar.
Oh, no.
And yeah, he did actually do a bit of it. He didn't do what he said he would do because I know it's a painful thing to do. I'm planning to do a fair bit of it on Greenlands because I want lots of wood chips.
Yeah. I will do it because I did ask and people took the time to comment, but I don't know if I'll do the whole field.
It's an interesting crop actually because there are some mods about now which make it much easier to harvest. There's a 6 meter forage harvest header which will do poplar, so it's not like you've got to do it with the bio baler, which is I think a 1 meter working width.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So it's not quite so painful, and it's a crop that regrows, which is quite cool. I think it's usually ready to harvest at a different part of the year.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? I can't actually think when it. It's more the end, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
More
I
the end
think
of
it's
the
kind of
year.
a winter job.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So I remember when the Anderson, not Anderson, is it Anderson? The Anderson DLC came out that had
Yeah.
the bio baler. Watching some people that got really excited about planting poplar as a winter crop to to have some winter field work.
Okay, I suppose it does though, doesn't it? Because winter it's a pain, to be honest, isn't it? Sometimes to find stuff to actually do
Yeah,
other than feed the animals.
skip time.
Yeah.
I guess with not having things like frozen ground, you can do a lot of your field prep. If you're doing spring crops, you can if you need to, you can plough, you can fertilise, and all that kind of thing through the winter, which you couldn't do in 19 with seasons.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be a good gap filler,
Yeah,
I think. Like you say, with the right kit.
yeah. I think the I don't know if it's out yet. But I think as a fan of Mr. CDP, you would have seen there was the triple planter you could get, so you could mount 3 of the planters on the back of a frame, and that makes it easier.
As soon as I saw the Poplar comments, I went looking for that, and I don't think it's out yet. I think that was it Black Sheep modding, I think?
Yeah, it is. Courseplay then.
It'll be Courseplay, auto drive, and a lot of time lapse, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a horrid courseplay course with like a 1 meter working width, but actually I think it does it slightly wider because it has to leave a gap. But yeah, I did it on a couple of series on 19, and as I said, I never actually got to I always did it on series that were either coming to the end or just I did it on the last series I did that ended because 22 came out, and I never actually got around to harvesting it.
Okay.
With the horse extension maps from the farming agency, there was miscanthus as a crop, and that was kind of the same. I think I planted that on almost every series, but only harvested it once.
think I've ever planted that.
Yeah,
I'm trying
it
to think what were the ones on Chellington? That's a
don't think
question
it
for you.
might have been. I don't know because you were on console still then, weren't you? So you might not have
Yeah.
had it on console. Don't know how many extra crops they put in. It was definitely a crop that was on the PC version of Chellington.
Yeah. There were a couple. I can't remember what they were now. It might have been linseed.
Linseed
And
was
then
definitely one, and alfalfa and clover.
that was it. Yes, alfalfa.
Because
Yeah.
I think on console you were limited to 3 or 4 extra crops.
Yes, that sounds about right. Poor console players.
Yeah, whereas the PC version or the farming agency version had carrots. So it had alfalfa, linseed, clover, carrots, onions, rye, miscanthus, and triticale, I think.
There might be one as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was, no, well, that definitely wasn't console. I think I'm getting confused.
all these fun new things you have.
I know. Thank goodness for Courseplay. That's all I can say. I love that. And GPS.
Yeah, what was the thing that pushed you from being a console gamer to a PC gamer?
I wanted to try basically what everybody does on PC, really, all that sort of scripted mods and that sort of thing, really. So it was a bit of a jump, and I also wanted to try recording and this game that we're doing now, as in the YouTube game. So
Yeah,
took the plunge.
yeah, and I guess
Here
although
we are.
I think all of certainly the modding side, there's much more on PC, as we spoke about last time. You have to be a bit careful where you get them from. But and again, Mr. CDP does it on console, but I would imagine making videos is easier on PC because you've got a lot more control over the game and how you record it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, it's like how he spent. Yeah, you can. Yeah, and he talks about it sometimes. The frustration of setting up mod testing on console. You know, when things go wrong and he loses save games and that kind of thing. Whereas on PC, you've got all the save game backups. You can easily edit the save game to fix things if they get broken.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, look at Calmsden and the map update needing a new save and how far we all were into that.
Yeah,
You know, and that's effectively why I think Mr. CDP ended that series, wasn't it? You know, because to rebuild, because he'd done a lot. You know, I thought I'd done a fair bit with productions and building sheds and stuff, but he had done an inordinate amount of work, and to recreate that would have just been hours.
yeah, he does a
Really
lot
spent.
of apart from all the stuff he does in the game. He does a lot in his setup, doesn't he? Because I think did he put a lime pit or something in on Calmsden? Or was that one of his other
Yeah,
ones?
he put a quarry in. Yeah,
Yeah, all that kind of stuff, which it must take him a lot of time. And to recreate, yeah, if you were on PC, you could probably recreate that pretty quickly. And you
yeah.
could move
No, I
all the
think you're
kit
probably
across
right.
really easily and all that kind of thing. But on console, you've basically got to start again. And I can understand why, that seeing that on a map update or something, if you're a console player, would just mean I'm just going to scrap that game and I'll go on a different map
Yeah,
or I'll ignore it.
yeah, yeah. I won't bother with that, or never go back to that area again. Yeah,
Yeah, it's that I probably until I was in my 30s, I was a console gamer. I used to play Gran Turismo and things like that a lot, which would
yeah,
surprise
yeah.
you maybe from the quality of my driving.
Yeah, but that would have been with a controller, not a keyboard. So
It would have been
I'll
with a controller,
give you that one.
and I was more focused on driving rather than everything else that goes with this game. So
Yeah, I know what you
yeah,
mean, and it yeah, it's a complete. Well, I think I said it in a very early video. It sounds daft, but with a controller, it's all in two hands, and that's it. When your PC, it's so many different key binds, so many different other things to add in. It's a very steep learning curve, but at the same time, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and all those scripted mods that make the game really cool add another 15 different buttons that you have to press and remember which ones to press.
Yeah, no, very, very true.
Now, I was chatting when we were both, I think it was when we were both harvesting, I was chatting about the fact that I have been playing a little bit with Sim Dashboard to help with having to remember so many keys, and also the fact that I can quite often hear my keyboard noise on my videos. And I'm going to have, I think next week while I'm away, I'm going to have a play with that and try and design myself a Sim Dashboard layout that includes all of the mods that I like using, so I don't have to remember the keybinds.
That's not a bad idea.
Because the other problem I have is my laptop keyboard is not quite a full keyboard, so it doesn't have things like home, end, and page up and that kind of thing that are easily accessible. So I used
Yeah, I
to
know what you mean.
remap
Yeah.
all the keys to not use them, but at the moment we have the problem where with key bindings occasionally vanishing, and I know there are ways around it, but I'm really bad at remembering to do that. If I can map all of the default key bindings to a Sim Dashboard layout, I don't need to worry that they might vanish.
Yeah, no, and that's not a bad shout, to be fair. I said this morning, I actually remembered when I was loading the mods in to not go into the actual save game and quit the game, and it seemed to work, and it kept them.
Yeah, I've not tried that yet, and I shared the post about doing it on my YouTube channel, but I keep forgetting because quite often I won't realise until I'm halfway through doing something, and then I'll want to save. I won't want to lose the progress that I've made.
Yeah,
And as
yeah,
soon as you
same,
save,
absolutely
you
the
wipe
same.
out the key bindings. So
Yeah,
it's
yes. I normally notice when I go to turn GPS on and I Alt C, and I just go into the cab. I was like, oh, great, key binding's gone.
yeah, for me it's either GPS or Power Tools or HUD Hider or something like that, or ProShot. When I go to try and grab a screenshot.
Yes, yeah, same. Power Tools is another one I notice it on. Yeah.
Did you remember to grab a thumbnail?
No, I
It's a
didn't.
good job we haven't done anything cool like harvesting, isn't it?
Oh dear. I'll sort it. Not a problem.
You must be riding your bike.
I'm not. I'm just running around, actually.
Uh,
I was trying to cut down trees, but it won't let me.
have you got super strength on from Lumberjack?
No. I think I might know what it is. I think it's probably in permissions on the farm again.
It could be that, or if you have super strength on and the Lumberjack mod enabled, you can't use the chainsaw. You have to turn super strength off and then use the chainsaw.
I think. So, I'll go and have a play. How are you getting on over there, anyway?
Yeah, I'm keeping busy. Getting me new crop planted.
Actually looked at what you planted. This is a bit
I'm
weird.
just quietly working away over here.
I'm just busy trying to not cut trees down. They can't be. Unless they're on the border and it doesn't. Oh, I'll get the blue.
If you're getting the blue one, just get closer. I should sort it.
Yes, I got the blue one. I forgot push to talk. I was doing so well.
Yeah, if you get closer, it should turn green. The blue usually means you're just not close enough or you're not in the right position.
Yeah, noob move.
Console player.
Yeah, what were we saying?
Sorry, the dogs went then. I'll probably be on mute for a little while.
Okay, no worries, mate. I'll speak to you in a little bit.
We got our windows down, driving down the 405, sing along to the radio. We're gonna make it someday, nothing's gonna get in our way. We will be the biggest band in town. Round and round the world we'll go, putting on the greatest show. So make sure that you don't miss out, just be.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, it's just easier when everyone comes home to switch my mic off for a bit because the 4 dogs just go mental. So you don't want.
See you in a second.
Do you know, I haven't been either because I switched it off. So yeah, for the benefit of that, I lost my internet connection and have just got back in, and Cartex just realised what I've been up to. And these slight changes that I have made.
Yes, I hadn't noticed at all. I am legging it over to sea now.
It's yeah, I was kind of musing away. It's like, how can I get more land and then plough it and plant it? My lag is awful because I'm connected through my phone.
Oh, not good.
But it'll be okay. Yeah, so it's just got to finish seeding and I will be done. It's quite a bit bigger.
It is. Cracking work there.
And it's all soybeans.
Oh, you. That is sneaky.
Yeah, I reckon that's about 100 grand's worth of soybeans there.
You have to pay off your loan then.
Very true. Very true. But I probably won't do that.
No.
Nothing wrong with having a bit of a loan in the game.
This is, yeah.
It's
in the game for a reason.
Yeah. It's, I think most of the times that I play, I have a fairly massive loan for the first year or so because unless you cheat a load of money in the start, it's the only way to get the kit you need.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think
I've got a little bit
nothing wrong with that at all.
A little bit of fertilizer left as well. Yeah, I'd probably another 5-10 minutes, I would guess, to get that bit seeded, and I shall take that opportunity to fertilize it all.
Mate, you've done good there.
Next time I've got going to be busy harvesting barley, I think, and I was saying we need to look at adding in things like cheaper balers, probably.
No.
Unless I chop the straw, but thanks.
Oh no, that seems poor. Need to have a baler.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know. I might end up chopping the straw anyway because I don't know whether I can be bothered to deal with processing that much straw. Although we do have super strength, so maybe I could just bale it and just chuck them to the side of the field for now.
See, it's not so bad after all, is it? Cheaty strength.
I am not at all averse to a little bit of cheating occasionally. And as I was saying this morning in Discord, if it's on Mod Hub, it's not cheating.
Yeah, it's in the game, so, to be used as intended.
Yeah. I'm sure I've said before, the whole reason that I released the BGAs that I made and the forage dealer, which is still in testing, is because I want to use them, and if it's on Mod Hub, no one can tell me I'm cheating.
Exactly.
Oh, well, that was an unexpected moment.
When you say unexpected moment, what have you done?
My bank loan needs to get bigger because I can't afford to pay my worker. Because it would appear you have to have money in the bank to pay a worker. And he took his wages and, why don't you want to start seeding now? I have money. That's annoying. keeps going to the helper menu rather than helping. I might have to seed this last bit myself. Or maybe it's because... Yeah, that's really weird. Why can't I hire a worker now? I have money. Oh, I'll just get this bit of seeding finished and I'll call it a day. I'll worry about fertilizing next time. I seem to have... I'm busy talking to myself because I was forgetting to hold down the button.
I thought you'd disappeared again then.
No, the problem was they took a wage payment and it took me overdrawn, and then they wouldn't work for me because I had no cash, so I've had to borrow some more money.
Oh,
So
slippery slope.
I'm at about 60,000. Yeah, and it just... But now, whenever I press the H key, it takes me to the helper menu rather than the starting a helper.
Oh. Isn't it? I'm talking to myself. I was saying it's Control H, but that's Courseplay, isn't it?
Yeah, and also I'm trying to turn GPS on, but I didn't put GPS on the lease tractor because that would have cost money.
Yeah. Nice thinking.
So I was thinking I've lost all my key bindings because I couldn't put GPS on, but no, it was actually because the tractor I'm using doesn't have GPS.
It does help to have it added to what you're using.
Yeah. I won't worry about finishing the fertilizing. I've just got a little bit of seeding to do. So hopefully you can keep yourself amused. You could fertilize your crop you've planted if you haven't already.
Only a small little field compared to yours.
Just a little one. It's not the size that counts.
It's what you do with it.
Exactly. And yeah, I'm going to have to do the same again with another monstrous field in the bit that I think there's probably 2/3 of this plot of land that I haven't ploughed.
Yeah, it's not a quick job, is it?
No, and that's why I leased a second tractor, because I knew I would never get it ploughed and planted in the time that we had.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically when you've had enough say, and I will accept that I may not get it all done.
I am just arranging some logs, and then I am done, I think, mate.
Okay. I'm not bothered that I don't get all of this planted. I'm quite happy that we progress to the next day in the next video, and I can fertilise what I've got, because there's quite a lot here, and we'll be both harvesting our second crops. And you've got the big fat cash crop of soybeans.
Yep.
And I've got barley, and I think you're doing your second. That's why I've done another field of soybeans again, because they earn so much money that I think you're going to get a big payout from that field that you've got, which will be ready tomorrow, versus what I'm going to get from selling the straw, because I want to keep all the barley, because hopefully I can afford to do the chickens that I want to do. I can't at the moment. Might have to sell some barley to be able to afford to actually buy them. But
yeah, and I've just realised that I haven't been recording for that whole entire section we were talking since you returned.
Oh dear.
Ah, what a wally.
So I missed the first bit, but you know.
Yeah, so I am done. If you are, I am heading over to you, because
okay, well,
you normally come to me.
As you run over, I will just try and sneak in a few extra passes. But I'm not bothered that I'm not going to quite get all of this finished, because it is an insanely large field, and
it is.
I don't know whether I might return the leased tractor. I might keep it actually, so that I can keep going on trying to grow into field 17 or plot 17. Because it's going to be a busy.
It's a real expanse of a field, isn't it?
It is. I was going to do it as two separate fields, and then I thought, actually, if I just keep extending the little one that the worker was already seeding in, if I can keep ahead of him, it'll keep going, and I'll end up with one monstrous field.
This is a very good way of working. You've missed a bit though.
Where?
Here.
It's entirely possible. I was running without GPS. That's the bit I missed ploughing that bit. You're gonna make a big deal. You're gonna make a big deal of that, aren't you? Okay, you did forget to press push to talk.
I did. You're right. I did.
So it doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count. Nobody saw anything.
No. Okay, I think should we call it a day? And
Yeah, I think that's cool. I need to just bear with me one moment, caller.
does it help if I do that? No, that looks wrong.
I do like that. It's like the superhero pose.
Yeah, I do it a lot because I use Control and 1 and 2 to start and stop recording. So whenever I start and stop, I crouch.
Yeah.
Again, it looks like you're annoyed with me.
It's just that sort of.
It's been that sort of day, hasn't it?
It has. It's been a bit on and off today, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Connections and
we had a cracking start, and then my internet connection just killed itself.
disappeared. Yeah. No, it's been good again though. We've both got a fair bit done.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things diverge now because you've got your big soybean crop that's about to be ready to harvest.
Yep.
Whereas I've got a field of barley and then this monstrous field of soybeans. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how we both, because up until this point they've both been pretty similar. We've both planted 2 little fields and both harvested a field of soybeans. So things are going to start to diverge.
Yes, and I think that's pretty good to be fair. You know, first few episodes were going to be reasonably similar, but yeah, we are going our different ways, I suppose you could say.
So I will see you next week and have a good weekend.
And you, mate, take care, and I'll speak to you next week.
Yeah, catch you in a bit.
Cheers. Bye for now.
That's episode 2 in the bag, I guess. Missed the last little bit of the field, but yeah, if you enjoyed this video, hopefully I managed to edit it into something tolerable, then like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, and I will catch you next time. Superhero landing.